Welcome back to Applied Physics Lecture Series, Unit 2 Semiconductor Physics, Lecture number 2 Intrinsic Semiconductors and Calculation of Electron Hole Density in Intrinsic Semiconductors. You know already in case of intrinsic semiconductor, so the number of electrons in the conduction band is exactly equals to number of holes in the valence band. That's why at ordinary temperatures or at low temperatures, intrinsic semiconductor behaves as an insulator. So here we have to calculate either the number of electrons present in the conduction band or number of holes in the valence band, which are exactly equal in number. You may calculate any one of the expression. But in this lecture, I will tell you how to calculate number of electrons in the conduction band as well as number of holes in the valence band, and finally effective number of electrons present in the intrinsic semiconductor and the portion of Fermi energy level also you can able to find out by doing this expression. So here in semiconductor physics, we are find out the electrons in the conduction band and holes in the valence band. Both are belonging to category of microparticles. That's why how to depends upon quantum mechanics. And we are having third type of mechanics, statistical mechanics. So according to that one, if we consider Dn be the number of electrons whose energy levels lies in the intervals of energy E and E plus dE, those are present in the conduction band. That means here you have to find out the number of electrons present in the conduction band between the levels E and E plus dE. Then here the expression for Dn equals to Z of E into F of E into dE. Here Z of E into dE is the density of states. Here density of states is nothing but the number of energy levels which are present in between the specific limits E and E plus dE. And F of E is the probability of a state of energy which is occupied by an electron. So here F of E is the probability distribution function, which is also called as Fermi-Dirac probability distribution function, which is used to find out the probability of a specific energy level which is occupied with an electron lying above the Fermi energy level. Then in order to find out the electron density in the conduction band, you have to integrate both the functions. Therefore, here n indicates number of electrons present in the conduction band, that is equals to integral Ec to infinite Z of E F of E dE. Here Ec is the starting energy level of the conduction band, that is minimum energy, and the conduction band will be extended up to infinite. That's why the minimum and maximum limits for the integration is Ec and infinite. The density of a state in the conduction band is given by the expression Z of E into dE equals to 4 pi by h cube to me star whole power 3 by 2 e power half dE for E is greater than EC. This is directly taken from statistical mechanics. Here 4 pi is a constant and h is the Planck's constant and me is the mass of the electron, and star indicates effective mass of an electron, and the factor 2 indicates the two possible spins for the electron. And E is a specific energy level which is occupied with electron present in the conduction band lying above the Fermi energy level. Already mentioned, E is the starting energy level energy in the conduction band, which is very less. That's why here in place of E we will write E minus EC. Then Z of E into dE is equals to 4 pi by h cube to me star whole power 3 by 2 E minus EC whole power half into dE. So this is equation number 2. The probability of an electron occupying an energy level is given by Fermi-Dirac probability distribution function. According to that, F of E is equals to 1 by 1 plus exponential of E minus EF by KT. Here E is a specific energy level present in the conduction band and always lies above the Fermi energy level. And T is the temperature. At what temperature a specific energy level E is occupied with electron, we have to find out. And K is nothing but Boltzmann constant. Therefore, here we are using this one when the number of particles are very small compared to the available energy levels, the probability of an energy state being occupied by more than one electron is very small. That indicates E minus EF is greater than KT. Fermi-Dirac function can be approximated to the Boltzmann function. As a result, F of E is equals to exponential of minus of E minus EF by KT. This is equation number 3. So using equations 2 and 3, and those are substituted in equation 1, we are getting the number of electrons in the conduction band n is equals to 4 pi by h cube to me star whole power 3 by 2 integral EC to infinite E minus EC whole power of exponential of minus of E minus EF by KT into dE. Integrating and rearranging, we will get the number of electrons present in the conduction band as n equals to 2 into 2 pi me star KT by h square whole power 3 by 2 exponential of EF minus EC by KT. In this expression, N is number of electrons and m star is the effective mass of an electron, K is the Boltzmann constant, T is the temperature, and H is the Planck's constant. And in the exponential term, EF is nothing but the portion of Fermi energy level, and EC is nothing but conduction band, energy level related to the conduction band. This is equation number 4. Similarly, if you want to calculate the number of holes present in the valency band of a semiconductor, here also have to consider dP is the number of holes whose energies lies in between the energy interval E and E plus dE in the valency band, just like in the case of electrons related to the conduction band. Here dP is equals to Z of E into 1 minus of F of E into dE. Here also Z of E into dE is nothing but density of states, and 1 minus of F of E is nothing but probability of a state which is vacant or not occupied by an electron. Then hole density in the valency band is P is nothing but number of holes present in the valency band, which is equals to integral of minus infinite to EV Z of E 1 minus of F of E into dE. This is equation number 5. The density of state in the valency band is given by Z of E into dE is equals to 4 pi by H cube 2m H star whole power 3 by 2 e power half into dE. Here also this equation is taken from directly statistical mechanics. H is the Planck's constant, mH star is nothing but effective mass of a hole, and E is nothing but the specific energy level which is occupied with hole. Here E is equals to EV minus E, that is the kinetic energy of holes. As a result, Z of E into dE is equals to 4 pi by H cube 2m H star whole power 3 by 2 EV minus E whole power half into dE. This is equation number 6. Here also we have to use the Fermi-Dirac probability distribution function, and here it is nothing but F of E is equals to 1 minus 1 by 1 plus exponential of E minus EF by KT, or it may be written as F of E is equals to exponential of E minus EF by KT. This is equation number 7. Using equation 6 and 7, and those are substituted in equation 5, we will get the number of holes present in the valency band of an intrinsic semiconductor, which is indicated with P is equals to 4 pi by H cube 2m H star whole power 3 by 2 integral minus infinite to EV minus E whole power half exponential of E minus EF by KT into dE. Again, here also we have to integrate and rearrange the terms. Finally, we will get the expression for number of holes in the valence band of an intrinsic semiconductor as P equals to 2 into 2 pi mH star KT by H square whole power 3 by 2 exponential of EV minus EF by KT. So here how the number of charge carriers are generated. So you know already semiconductor is formed as a consequence of covalent bond. Whenever that bond breaks in a pure semiconductor, it leads to generation of electron hole pair. At any temperature T, the number of electrons generated will be equals to the number of holes generated. Because if you increase the temperature, once the covalent bond, the sharing pair of electron will be broken and one electron is reached to the higher energy level. As a result, to prevent the stability of a covalent bond, we are assuming in place of such a missing electron, a unit positive charge will be present. Such a positive charge will be called as hole. That's why the number of electrons which are reached to the conduction band, that is exactly equals to the number of holes which are generated in the valence band. As a result, the number of electrons is equals to the number of holes. That's why N equals to P equals to Ni. Here Ni is nothing but intrinsic density or intrinsic carrier concentration. So we can write the product of Np as Ni square. As a result, N equals to 2 into 2 pi Me star KT by H square whole power 3 by 2 exponential of EF minus EC by KT, and P is equals to 2 into 2 pi mH star KT by H square whole power 3 by 2 exponential of EV minus EF by KT. Then Ni square indicates 4 into 2 pi KT by H square whole cube Me star mH star whole power 3 by 2 exponential of EV minus EC by KT. And in place of this exponential of EV minus EC by KT, the difference of valence and conduction band is nothing but energy gap. And here EV minus EC, which indicates that there is a negative energy gap. As a result, Ni square can be written as 4 into 2 pi KT by H square whole cube Me star mH star whole power 3 by 2 exponential of minus EG by KT. Here EC minus EV equals to EG, which is known as forbidden energy gap. As a result, we will get the total intrinsic carrier concentration or total intrinsic density. Ni is equals to 2 into 2 pi KT by H square whole power 3 by 2 Me star mH star whole power 3 by 4 exponential of minus EG by 2 KT. The intrinsic carrier concentration is strongly dependent on temperature. As the temperature increases, more number of covalent bonds are broken. As a result, more number of electrons holes are generated, but the number of electrons present in the conduction band is exactly equals to the number of holes which are present in the valency band. And if you want to know the exact portion of Fermi energy level through this derivation, in an intrinsic semiconductor, the number of electrons are exactly equals to number of holes. That's why we are making n as equivalent to 2p. As a result, we are getting this equation, and in that equation, we are assuming that effective mass of electron and hole both are same. As a result, the equation is reduced to exponential of EF minus EC by KT is equals to exponential of EV minus EF by KT. And rearranging the terms, we are getting 2EF equals to EV plus EC. As a result, EF equals to EV plus EC by 2. According to this expression, we will conclude that the portion of Fermi energy level located exactly halfway between the valency band and conduction band. You can able to see the same in the diagram also. And if you observe the variation of Fermi level with temperature in an intrinsic semiconductor, we are taking effective mass of hole is exactly equals to effective mass of electron, then the Fermi level lies exactly at the center of energy gap. With increase in temperature, the Fermi level gets displaced. That means the portion of the Fermi energy level varies with temperature in two scenarios. That is, if effective mass of hole is slightly greater than effective mass of electron, so the Fermi energy level is displaced upwards, that is towards the conduction band. And if effective mass of hole is slightly less than effective mass of an electron, the portion of the Fermi energy level slightly shift towards, moving downwards to the valence band. So that's why we can able to say the portion of Fermi energy level is not constant, it varies with temperature. Thanks for listening.